If you're a busy working mom, but you also love self-help books, then this episode is for you because I'm going to be telling you the 5 most influential self-help books that helped me move out of a state of overwhelm as a busy working mom and into a state of more balance. Hey, I'm Tamara. I'm a busy working mom, and I help other busy working moms create simple systems for their day-to-day life so that they get stuff done without burning themselves out in the process. And today I'm going to be talking about the 5 books that really helped me to shape the way that I teach and talk about building balance as a busy working mom in the world that we live in today. Now, I am not associated whatsoever with the authors or these books. I get no kickback for mentioning them here on this show, but they really were the most influential books that I read to date that helped me to move out of that state of overwhelm as a busy working mom. And hopefully they can do the same for you as well. So I'm going to start at the bottom of my list and work up to my number 1 favorite. Now, these books, you can listen to what I'm going to tell you about these books and look into them yourselves and find which one will help you and support you most in your busy mom life, because all of them kind of cover different areas, different struggle points that all go through. Okay, let's get started. Book number 5 on my list is actually a newer book. It's just released within the last month or so, and it is called Making Home Your Happy Playgown. This book is about changing the way that you think about your home and the clutter that's in it. What my favorite part about this book is the way that Kristen goes through the different types of clutter, because there are actually different kinds of clutter, and some things are easier to get rid of, while others are more of a struggle point. And it helps you to identify which area of clutter is your struggle point and gives you some really, really practical ways to get started with reducing it. This is not your typical Marie Kondo sparks joy kind of decluttering book. This one is actually really practical in how to apply it to make your life not just perfect, clean, tidy looking, but to make it really functional and fit into your real life. So if you're somebody that's drowning in clutter and stuff all around you, then I really recommend reaching out for this. Book number 4, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke by Jen Smith and Jill Sirianni. What I really loved about this book is that it talks about budgeting in a really, really practical way so that you're not just removing everything from your budget that is a waste of money. You know, those like the coffee that you get at the coffee shop every day, or those little indulgent purchases that you might make from time to time. It doesn't say to take that out of your budget entirely. It gives you a practical way to still incorporate those things, while at the same time getting you to do a little bit of the deeper work of discovering what emotionally you're getting out of that purchase, and then maybe being able to replace it with something that costs less, or that something that is free that will still give you that return emotionally on your investment of your money or time. And so I really loved going through this book and being able to apply it very, very practically. Book number 3, How to Keep House While Drowning by Casey Davis. This book completely reframes the way you think about tasks, completely changes it. If you're somebody who struggles with motivation, then this is definitely a book for you. It is the first time that I had ever heard anyone say that they didn't believe in laziness or lazy people, which completely changed the way I thought about myself and the cleanliness of my home, and also the houses of the people that I clean for inside of my cleaning business. This book is a huge permission slip to those of us who are drowning in our houses that feel really overwhelming, in piles of dishes and laundry that we can't keep up with. This book really helps to give you a practical way to reframe your thinking, but also to take steps in getting yourself motivated to get up and start tackling those things. This book was actually so fundamentally important in my development of the Balance It Method Home Management Systems course, which is my course that I teach working moms how to balance all the responsibilities that they have going on. Um, when she talks about tasks in the form of balls that we're juggling in the air. So all of our tasks are balls that we're juggling in the air. And some of those tasks are rubber balls, where if you drop one, not a big deal, nothing bad will happen. But if you drop a glass ball task, it shatters, right? So that was really foundational when I was building out my 5 time block system and identifying my non-negotiable tasks, which is what I now teach people to do inside the Balance It Method. If you've watched the Simplified Week workshop, you'll know very, very much about the non-negotiable tasks. And this was the book that really gave me the language to be able to identify those tasks and also signify their importance in our week and how we sort of have to build our time around those glass ball tasks. This book is incredible if you're somebody who feels shame and stress around cleanliness. Book number 2. Now, this book is fairly popular if you are somebody who likes self-help books, and you've probably already heard of this one. You may have already read it. And that is Fair Play by Eve Rodsky. Now, this book tackles something that many, many moms struggle with, and that is the mental load. This is the first book of its kind to really give language to that invisible labor. And not only is it a book, but it is also a little card. So you buy the book, it is like the instruction manual. It helps you to explain what mental load may be carrying. And then you can also purchase the card game, which has a whole lot of cards, which are all the tasks that most moms are tackling daily, weekly, monthly, without even thinking about it. And the point of this is to sit down with your partner and go through the cards. And first of all, so they can see how many cards you're holding and really start to that conversation around the invisible labor that's happening. And then also, you can start to disperse the cards between the two of you so that you can lessen the amount that's on your plate, and they can even further understand all the responsibilities that you're holding. Now, we talk about in the Balance It Method offloading tasks, and this is what I recommend for all of my clients to have when they are starting to offload tasks or chores onto their family members. Because when a person is holding a card, one of these task cards, it means that they carry that entire responsibility for that task. Okay, so for example, we've pulled the magic, one of the magic cards, which is gifts for the family. So if you're holding this card, if you're the person that's holding this card, you are the person that has to decide who needs a gift, when they need the gift, what the gift is going to be. You have to go get the gift. You have to organize picking it up. You have to wrap the gift. You have to deliver the gift. You are responsible for that entire task from start, from conception to completion. And therefore, if you're passing that task, that chore, that card off to your partner, you no longer have to carry any. Okay, we are finally at the top of the list, and this is my number 1 recommended book. This book is the book that I gift people most frequently, especially if they've just welcomed their first child into their family. This book is called Love Your Kids Without Losing Yourself by Dr. Morgan Cutlip. This book speaks directly to the experience that almost all moms can identify with, which is when you are trying so hard to be the best mom that you can be because you so deeply love your kids and you want what's best for them, that you end up losing yourself in that responsibility of mother. The biggest lesson that I've learned from this book, and that I think is the basis of the book, is that Your identity shouldn't shrink into motherhood. It really should expand. You are still a person, not just a role. Um, that you can still have goals and you can still have interests outside of that role of motherhood. And you should, because when you have those things and when you make time for it and when you protect that time for it, you are more patient, you are more present, and you are able to show up as the mom that you actually want to be. This book is really the antithesis of everything that I teach and talk about side balancing that. Now, I had already created the course before I read this book, but when I read the book, I was like, this gives practical and scientific, really, knowledge to what I'm talking about. It really gave the backbone to what I'm teaching. This book is really powerful for moms who have really felt like their identity has been reduced to the responsibility of motherhood. And it helps them to walk through a really practical process of identifying who they are again and getting back into doing things that are just for them and that strengthen that individual purpose that they have for themselves. Okay, friends, those are my 5 top book recommendations if you are an overwhelmed mom trying to find some more balance in your life. Now, don't go out and buy all of them at once and do a deep dive. Pick the area that you find the most troublesome in your day-to-day life and go with the book that I recommended that kind of tackles that subject the most. If you need further recommendation of where to start, Fair Play is for everyone. I believe that that is something that all of us need a little more language around to be able to talk about with our partners. And there isn't a relationship or a marriage or a family that can't benefit from better communication about task sharing. Now, out of curiosity, my friends, is there a self-help book that I should read that maybe wasn't on this list today? Drop it down in the comments below and I am happy to pick it up. If you want to pick up any of the books that I've talked about today, they're going to be linked all down below so you can go shopping after you're done watching this video, and make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss the next one. And I'll see you back here then.